Hello, welcome to another Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News. Today's guest is Edie Blanchard from, of course, MacNIder Art Museum. They just got finished up with their Arttoberfest here not too long ago. We talked to you about that, Edie, and now it's Friday off the clock and holiday open house time. So welcome. And, oh, by the way, real quick, this is all brought to you by CG Public Health, cghealth.com. We appreciate them sponsoring our Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News. So, yeah, real quick, was it a great event here like about a month or so
Arttoberfest
ago?
was good. Arttoberfest was good.
Yeah,
It's always great. We have so many community supporters, and this is a great way for them to come and have a good time and have a lot of fun. It was good.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
Well, Merry Christmas,
Yeah,
right?
now we're on to Christmas.
Now we're into Christmas and two big things Friday off the clock and the holiday open house. Let's take the first one right off the bat. Off the clock. Explain it for those that don't know.
Yeah.
They could be watching or listening first time.
If you've never heard of it, what it is, it's an after hours party that the museum hosts. And it's entirely on us. There's no fee. You don't have to sign up, you don't have to register. It is for adults. And we hand out free wine and drinks, and we hand out, we have hors d'oeuvres, things like that. It's 100% free. We have music. Sam Crosser, who you might be familiar with,
He's an Osage guy.
he's an Osage guy.
Yeah, Sam
He
Krause is
played
great.
with Nova Jazz and such. He's this fantastic pianist and jazz mostly, but just wonderful, wonderful guy. And he will come and he will play all sorts of Christmas music, and they will have sing-alongs. You don't have to sing; it's like not no pressure. But
Oh, good.
especially with the free wine, people usually do. So there's a correlation.
Sam's
Yeah.
great because he actually smiles when he plays.
Yes, he has a
He's
great
constantly
time.
smiling. It's great. It makes him happy.
Well,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you when you're playing that kind of music?
Well, that
Yeah.
plus it's your
Yeah.
passion. So
Yeah.
So we and we always have really good food that we serve, free. A lot of people will sometimes stop on their way home from work for like an after hours drink because it's a Friday
mhm.
before they go home. And we have a lot of people that before they go out, because it is a Friday night, they swing by, have some appetizers and a drink on us before they go out with friends. A lot of people later go to one of the downtown bars or breweries, afterwards, or wine bar or whatever, and have a good time after that. So we're kind of the starting point for your night. Like I said, from 5 to 7, it's completely free, free wine, free food, free music, and then all the wonderful exhibits that we have at the museum.
Now-
And I know sometimes people feel a little intimidated coming to the museum. So that's the point of this is it's a casual, fun atmosphere. You don't have to dress up. You can come as you are. But it's usually a wild success.
That's what I was going to ask you. What the dress code was?
It's
But
whatever
this-
you want to wear. I
really?
mean, we have people that come late
This?
from work, so they might be, people come like that. People come wearing a dress
The
shirt or
country
something
look.
and jeans. People come in a sweatshirt and pants. It really doesn't matter to us. We're kind of, we're the art museum, so we're kind of accepting of everybody and all things. So
Okay.
Jay,
Good.
you could wear you've got that ugly coat, sport coat that you wear. That's you could wear
Yeah.
that thing. Yeah.
But you really don't have to dress up. I mean, if you want to, you can, but everybody dresses in their own way. Lots of different groups come. So you'll probably, if you come, would run into people that you know in the community from different areas of your life. I'm always impressed at how many different people from different communities even come, Clear Lake or Charles City or some of the surrounding areas that come.
Oh, cool.
See, that's what's nice. We have like business after hours in town,
Mhm.
through the chamber and stuff. And one might think, well, maybe it's kind of like that as well. And it
Mhm.
might be like that, but you actually get to see other people other than business people.
Yeah, so that is the difference. Whereas business after hours is a lot more business networking and people who belong to the chamber, which is great and important in and of itself. This is a little different because we have people that wouldn't usually go to that. We have school teachers, we have firefighters,
Right.
we have people who are massage therapists, we have, just all sorts of people, college students, all of that. So it's a great diversity of people, and that's what makes it a great event.
You have how many a year of these?
So we have 3 or 4 of these a year. Sometimes we don't have one in the fall because of Oktoberfest.
Right. Okay.
So we have them several times. We'll for sure have another one in the spring. Oftentimes we connect it with an exhibit opening or another event such as what we'll have coming up on Saturday.
Okay. So Friday off the clock on Friday, December 8th, and that's from 5 to 7, you said?
5 to 7,
5
yeah.
to 7. All right, let's talk about the big holiday open house. We've been through this with you a few times, I think.
Yes. So Holiday Open House, I think, is older than me. Like this has been a long-standing tradition in Mason City, going over 50 years, and it's we have people who came as kids now bringing their kids.
Oh, wow.
And it's from 1 to 4 on Saturday the 9th.
Okay. And
So
tell
what do you
us
do?
the highlights.
Yeah, what do you do there?
Okay, so we have a lot of different fun activities for families. One of the first things we have that everybody wants to know about is our special guest. Because a lot of times it's hard to find a photo opportunity with our special guest.
Harry O?
Yes, we have the big guy, Santa. And he makes an appearance the whole time. And it's a really good opportunity because of how we have it set up, kind of like a Macy's Day Santa up on the stage. So you can get really good photos of you and your kids. We have a whole tree setting behind it. So, it's early enough in the season. You can get that Christmas card photo early on.
Nice.
We know a lot of people that come with their kids like dressed identical to do the Christmas card photo.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, so that's a big deal for us or for the families. The other thing that we have is our cookie bakers have been hard at work making cookies, and we will have approximately 70 to 75 dozen cookies that will be delivered by volunteers. That are like cutout cookies, they're reindeer cookies, all those special cookies that we had as a kid. That's what we make. So we have people that specifically want to make those kinds of cookies, and they're all free. And so we have ladies in the kitchen that put them on plates, all that. We have them all organized, and it's a monumental task just to organize the amount of volunteers it takes to make almost 900 cookies.
what about popcorn and candy canes?
Oftentimes Santa will hand out little candy canes and things like that as well.
Okay.
We don't do popcorn just because we do the cookies, but we do like an apple cider type punch for the kids. It's kind of like a 7-Up mix. For years, they used a red thing. And then I was like, I'm a mom. We're not staining the carpet. So it's an apple cider one. I nixed that. I was like,
that's why you're so good, Edie. You're a mom.
Well, I'm a mom, and we have
you got to take care of your house.
Who gives 600 kids red Kool-Aid with a carpeted area?
Right.
Not a wise idea. So we switch. So they get that. They get as much as they want of that. So it's a great afternoon snack for the kids. And then they have an opportunity to write letters to Santa. We have a drop-off area for that. And then we have a whole bunch of crafts that I can tell you a little bit about.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you get, speaking of moms, do you get moms and a couple of kids coming in, or do you actually get mom and dad with a couple of kids coming in?
So it all depends. We have all kinds. What I see the most often is a mom and like her sister and all the cousins coming. People coming in multifamily groups of about 8 people.
Yeah.
Grandma.
Sometimes the dads come with as well. Usually the dads are parking the car and dropping off, the stroller and, all those things. And so sometimes it's just a mom. Sometimes we have just dads. You'd be surprised how many single parents we have in the community or people who share custody. So for a lot of people, especially single dads that might not have, plans for Christmas really well organized or, whatever, this is a good opportunity, and we get a lot of that. And so this is a good thing. We have a lot of kids that they don't have a lot at home. And so this is their Christmas celebration because they're not going to have a great big celebration at home. They don't have the 10-foot tree and things like that. So
I've never been there, but my daughter-in-law has. My granddaughters have been there many times. They love it. I mean, that they just know that's where they're going to go, well, for different things too that you do throughout the year. I guess kind of paint a picture a little bit. So let's say you're walking in to the
Yep.
MacNider Art Museum. I mean, do you kind of like, is it like set up where it's like a tour of this, and this? Santa's over here, or you can probably go anywhere you want to, I realize. Or do you
Yeah.
just jump into the crafts right away, all the arts?
Well, we're museum people, so we're super organized.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so you'll come
Unlike Harry
in,
and I.
Yeah.
you come in, and I'll greet you, and we'll have you take a left, and then we have one of the galleries that we have about 9 coat racks, because of course when you have 900 people, you have all their coats. And so the IJAG students do this for us. They actually act as coat check for people.
Mhm.
So we'll check your coat. If you want, you can keep your stroller. Otherwise, you can check your stroller. And then on the floor, our staff have made Santa footprints. I shouldn't say they've made them. Santa's footprints magically appear.
Ah.
And you follow Santa's footprints through the first gallery. You'll pick up bags, put your crafts in. And then you go into a room where you make your first round of crafts. When you're done with that, you go see Santa. Then we have a woman that does calligraphy of Christmas ornaments and bookmarks that we give out. And she's there. And then you go on to your next section of crafts. And then you go downstairs following Santa's footprints. And then we have cookies with the cookie bakers and tables set out for the families to sit at. And while they're doing that, they can write their letters to Santa. And then on your way out the door, when you get your coat, there is a place to put your letter to Santa. So it's a whole path. This isn't to say you can't
I kind of figured it was like that. Yeah.
But this makes it like a traffic flow, like
Sure.
really good.
Well, you need that. I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we also have 2 other special things that we have. So the mayor will read to us the night before Christmas about 3 times throughout the day. And he'll have his times posted like 1:30 and 2 o'clock and things like that. So he'll read that to the kids. And that's always a good time for Mayor Schickel and the kids.
Sure.
And then Clarinet Society will play. Usually they play about 3 or 3:30. It just depends when they get done with Tuba Christmas, because a lot of their folks play in Tuba Christmas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Over.
Yep.
Yeah. So we also have some performances during that time as well. And that's in the area kind of where the cookies are. So it's the ability for people to kind of eat the cookies and be entertained as well. So.
Wow. Lots of things going on. What's the cost again on this?
It's free.
Yeah.
And then all the crafts. And this is free because the MacNider family donates to this program. And so does the Tim and Carol Detmer family donate to this program. And so because of those 2 families' generosity, we're able to offer this for free. If you would live in Minneapolis or even in Des Moines, there would be a fee per family to attend an event like this. And I think people just don't realize
it's
that.
Amazing. You've been able to keep it free, all that. Of course, donations all the time. People
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
They of course give.
And we always need volunteers for this event. I mean, it takes probably 50 people just that day to run.
I can imagine.
Are you looking for volunteers now?
Yes, we're always looking for volunteers. So I recommend they call to the museum, 421-3666. You can message us on Facebook. Otherwise, our website has a lot of different, ways that you can message us as well for different things. But we always need volunteers.
That's great. Well, guess what? It's time for show and tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You always have some pretty cool things.
All my fun stuff.
Crafts,
So
yeah.
the kids are going to be making these crafts, and I like to always show you guys how cool they are. I'm very proud of my staff and the creative ideas they come up with. So this is kind of like my proud moment of them. So this, you might have seen on Facebook. We've been looking for paper towel tubes.
Is that the nutcracker thing?
Kids are going to make nutcrackers.
Yeah. I love it.
How cool is that? That's pretty awesome. We've never done anything like nutcrackers before. That guy. So nutcrackers.
So are you still looking for toilet paper rolls and
paper towel tubes? Yeah.
Paper towel tubes. Oh, yeah. Not toilet paper rolls.
No, not those, because they need to be a little taller for this particular craft.
Oh, okay.
And then these guys are penguins.
Oh, sure.
And the kids will make them. We have all the parts already cut out, and they have a little paper clip. And so this is to hang on.
That's a scarf. That's a scarf on the penguin, right?
Yeah, it is, because it's cold in Antarctica where he lives.
I
don't know if it's which pole that they live on. I'm not smart enough to know that, but it is
probably both. Probably
Yes,
both.
this is where, and obviously it's cold, so he needs a scarf.
For those of you that are listening to this podcast right now, you should switch over to the video so you can actually see some of these things. Just a hint. Okay,
Yeah.
pretty
They're
cool.
so cool.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is a little thing they make.
Oh,
It's
like
a
a
little
fireplace.
fireplace, and see the
Yeah.
stockings, they are
I
hung with
see that.
hair.
Yes.
And
Cool.
little tissue paper flat fire.
Yeah.
So they'll make that with popsicle sticks.
And a little, what is that, a holly and the ivory up there on
Yes,
the
it
top there?
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then this is for some of the littler kids that, need more simple things. These are like little jingle bell jinglers.
Oh, sure.
I can't hear them, but they make noise of jingles. And they can act as tree ornaments as well. And then this last thing I think is going to be really cool. It's a Christmas card. And it's a tree made entirely of circles that are cut out in different colors.
Yeah.
So kids all kind of have a template, and they just put circles in the correct spacing. So
It's a great looking tree.
Yeah.
So I really think that there's a lot of really fun things for the kids to do this year. The youngest kids we probably would say could do this is probably about 18 months to 2 years old. A lot of times that age needs parents' help. And we have kids all the way through middle school that come to this, especially if they have younger siblings. So it's definitely a great family bonding. It's not one of those things that, sometimes you'll sign up for a class and you have to bring certain things. You don't. This, you just show up. There's no sign up, no nothing. You just
show up and do it.
We're not going to collect your email. We're not going to, do anything, we just want people to come.
So I'm kind of figuring this as you walk in and when it's craft time, you just literally have all these kids sitting at tables.
Yeah.
And
So we'll put 2 8-foot tables together, and the kids stand, and we have little stations.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a little station at each one, and then we'll have like 3 volunteers at every section of 2 8-foot tables, and then there's 2 chairs on the other side. We have chairs there, but generally it's better if they just have the ability to stand. Yeah. And then they move on to the next one, especially since some of them really need help, from like a mom or dad or grandma. We've had people even bring their neighbor kids. They know their neighbor kids might not have the best Christmas, and so they'll ask to take them to an event like this. So I really encourage people, even if you don't have kids, to reach out to people and let them know about this event, because it really is something that is a good experience for kids and hopefully will impact them,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you even, I don't know, you're still pretty young yet, Edie, but you're going to be able to, well, you mentioned that this whole thing is actually older than you are, but
yes, it is.
And I'm sure you actually have docents and people that have been part of MacNIder for a long time that, that's like they see the generations that go,
multiple generations.
Yeah. And I'm sure that, there's new parents out there that are like, well, I came here as a kid.
I know we get a lot of that. And especially, people who are really enthusiastic about going to the events like Holiday Open House. They remember sort of that magic from when they were a kid, and they want to have their kid experience that. So we definitely see a lot of that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I see the neighbor kids bring home their crafts. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And they tell you all about it.
Yes. We often think as adults, it's got to look nice. It's got to do something. It has to hang on the tree, something like that. But for kids, what we have found is it's the experience.
Yep.
It's the experience of going and doing something that you can't do at home. You would be surprised. During COVID, we did a lot of these classes online that people could do.
Right.
And you would be surprised how many people in their homes don't have a scissors. They don't have tape. They don't have like colored pencils or crayons. And so so we started giving away a lot of things like that, for people to do these crafts. We did kits we handed out. And part of that was because, people don't necessarily have art in their home. So we are the place you can come and do art.
How cool would it be if anybody listening or watching that, say you would love to volunteer, but you don't have time? Well, then maybe you can give this way. Maybe you drop off some supplies that you might need.
Yes, we always need supplies. And the other thing people are more than welcome to donate is we have a fund for scholarships. So basically our classes basically just cover the staff cost, if that.
And just like the food bank, money can go farther sometimes, and you can just I'm sure you are able to get a bulk price that's cheaper if you
know. When I buy glue, it's by the case. When we buy clay, for a pottery studio, it is delivered by a semi, with a loading jack and all of that. When we buy, a lot of the stuff, I explain to people, this is for MacNIder Museum. That's why I need 15 jars of peanut butter or, whatever they're going to need for that project, because they're like, where do you work? And I'm like, and then it makes sense why I'm buying 40 pairs of scissors then, so.
Jay, when was the last time you used Elmer's glue? I can't even remember. I have Elmer's glue at home, but I don't, does it ever go bad?
Well, we don't know because we go through it so fast, but we go through the jugs.
Oh, yeah,
jugs of it that we refill into the little ones. And then the glue sticks is something we use a lot of. And those we buy in 48 packs. And we buy them like every other month in 48. I mean, that's what we go through. It's pretty phenomenal. We're always looking for the best sale and stuff like that because over time that really adds up. It's really an interesting, like tempera paint. What you think is like a thing where it's like the little ones.
Right.
I mean, again, we buy tempera paint by the jug. Acrylic paint, the little acrylic paints, we buy by the jug, because we just go through so much of it.
The last thing I'm this is how mature I am. If I was there, I'd be like, last time I did something with Elmer's glue, I think is when I put it on my hand. How you smear it out,
skin wrinkly,
and then you peel it off. It looks like you're peeling skin. That's how mature I am.
Yeah. Well, we have a class that's going to be next semester that you would love. It is for kids, but we can make an exception for you, Jay. It's called No Paintbrushes Allowed. And the kids paint with squirt guns and all sorts of stuff like that where they throw paint. We actually put up tarps in the museum studio because it's such a disaster, and then we can just roll them down and throw them away. But it's called No Paintbrushes Allowed. And like I said, they get to paint with squirt guns and all sorts of stuff like that.
Wow. Do they ever spray each other?
We ask them to wear old clothes.
That'd be fun, Harry. We need to go do that. We need to do that. You and I go down there and see how creative we can be. I can be creative with that.
Well, I was going to say that, Elmer's was the thing we used till we were probably up in our 20s. But ever since we've been 30 years ago, right? We've been using crazy glue. We don't mess around. We don't mess around.
We don't have the patience to wait for the glue to set up.
Yeah. No, we do have crazy glue and different glues like that because we do a lot of other stuff like classes and things like that where you have to glue something on or stained glass or whatever. You would be surprised. I mean, we have an entire shelf in like all the different kinds of glue. Like there's even a website called This to That, I think it's called, where you can figure out, because we have to do so much of that when we're figuring out projects, when we're, because we have all kinds of classes. We have wood chip carving classes and all of that. So we need all different kinds of supplies and such.
I'm still thinking about that paint room, Harry. I'm serious. We should go down there. That'd be fun. I'd be wearing goggles just in case I got paint in my eye.
I love it.
We also have a squishy and slime class. Yeah, we have a lot of fun classes like that because we want to make art fun.
Yeah, exactly. Well, everything's always fun. MacNIder Art Museum. You can go to MacNiderArt.org, by the way, for all the information about everything we just talked about. The times, remember, it's off the clock, Friday off the clock, December 8th. That's 5 to 7. And the holiday open house is going to be on December 9th with special guest in red. Yeah, and that'll be from 1 to 4. Yeah, man, those 3 hours I bet go by extremely fast.
I think they go fast for everybody but the big guy. He gets a little tired sometimes. He gets a little worn out.
Well, when you're about 3,000 years old, you're gonna be.
That's true. That's true.
And how many dozen cookies are you preparing?
Like 75 dozen or something like that. We're always still looking for more cookies. So if you're interested, that's a really easy way, especially there's a lot of older ladies out there that don't have kids to bake for. And so it's a really easy way, just drop off a dozen or 2 dozen cookies for this project.
You should ask all the church ladies. They're good.
We have their number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, by the way, I did the math. That's 900 cookies.
Yeah, 900 cookies. That's
Mhm.
about what we go through.
Gosh, and you divide that by 3 hours. Oh my, damn. Anyway, that's good.
Yeah, we literally have, like I said, we buy in bulk. We have Christmas Santa trays that we buy in bulk, and so we have volunteers earlier in the day all pre-filling them in different ways. Because obviously we put an assortment, and it has to look
Right.
nice because we're the art museum. But pre-doing it so we can keep up. With everything. All the punch is made ahead of time. So we can just keep up.
You bet. Well, Edie, you have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
And
you too.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be talking to you probably at the beginning of the year too, because there's
That's
going to
right,
be a
'cause
lot
we'll
of
have to talk
winter,
about classes.
winter classes and all that. And you can find out more about all that too on MacNiderArt.org. But thanks for being our guest here today. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
having me.
Okay. All right. That is the Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News, all brought to you by CG Public Health, cghealth.com.